David, thanks for the invitation here today to DMI Precision Engineering. We've got a new machine behind us, an MT-200 from Muratec and Matsuura. First one in Scotland, I believe.
It's the first one, mate, yeah, absolutely. I'm very proud of that, actually.
When you purchased it, did that concern you at all? Or did you think, well, I've not got one of these in Scotland I can look at? Or not, there was no concern there at all?
Not at all. I think the backup and support that we've had throughout the whole journey, I suppose, with Matsuura, has been second to none. So there was no point that we feel there's anything to worry about. And
it's a twin turret, twin spindle, twin Y-axis machine. You've got 15 stations on the top turret. You've got 12 on the bottom, but double point indexing. There's quite a lot of capability, isn't there?
Yeah, well, very much so, yeah. That was one of the reasons why we bought it. We looked at several other machines and we did think this was by far probably the best for us.
Yeah, why was that, David? What were the things that, give us maybe 3 points that really made this one, or you crossed the line with this one and gave them the order?
First of all, I think was what I mentioned previously, the support from Matsuura has been great. The machine itself, the capability of the machine, and one of the biggest things was the lights out running. When we first got the machine, that was a big selling point for us. But since
you could probably do that with other machines. What specifically about this Muratec machine made you actually go for this one rather than the others that you considered?
It was the belief in Matsuura, to tell you the truth, and it's now proven itself. We now run it 24/7.
24/7. So has it improved? Well, by the sounds of it, it must have done your productivity here.
Considerably. It's up considerably, without a doubt.
This particular application we're going to look at here may dispel a myth as well that these types of machines aren't capable of machining harder materials and bigger diameters. You've done this on this Muratec machine. Tell us about the part.
Well, it's a oil and gas related part made in 17.4 material. Normally it would be about 4 or 5 ops for us to do this throughout the workshop in 2 or 3 different machines. In this instance we can do it in one. So
you're doing this in one hit now then. There's a lot of is there a lot of stock material removal on this, inside and out?
Yeah, both inside and out, and there's also quite a few intricate detail inside the holes, etc.
Yeah, I mean, tell me about the tool wear on something like this as well, compared to how you were doing it before. Are you experiencing that you get better tool life? Yeah,
we've noticed quite a considerable drop in our tool spend, if you like, on this particular job. Whereas before we would probably go through quite a number of tips. We don't do that anymore. The machine's so rigid and accurate.
And there must be quite a U-drilling operation going on in there as well.
Yeah,
that must have been a bit experimental in terms of the speeds and the feeds to get the right, not just the metal removal, but the surface finishes and the prep for the the final operation.
Yeah, that's very much the case. Yeah, but as I say, this machine has been so good. We've noticed that we've changed tips a lot less than we would otherwise.
When you go home at night, before you would never have had the worry of a machine turning here. Is that an additional headache for you as a company owner, or actually are you strongly of the belief that you can rest assured that this machine's, you're going to come into a box of bits, and good bits?
We've gone into it quite tentatively, right? We didn't start off by running it 24/7. We started off running it a few extra hours at the end of each shift, and then we've gone from that to the stage we're at now over the course of 4 months, where we're now able to run it literally 24/7.
You haven't gone for a gantry solution on this. They are available with this machine. Right. Was it something that you just felt you didn't need at this stage?
At this stage we don't need it. We've got the bar feeder there. We do a lot of smaller parts. It lends itself well to that. The gantry loader might be an option for the future, but as it stands at the moment, we're happy with what we've got.
And operators may or may not want to cover their ears on this one, but wasn't it a factor that you were having to pay a lot of overtime to your guys to come in here at weekends and run machines? You don't have to now because this is taking up the slack.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. We did have a back shift on, which actually was a kind of later shift, 5 o'clock till 3 in the morning. We now don't have that. We don't need it.